Yeah, you said they're all ugly. I want you to say that.
Okay.
I'm Bruce.
I'm Rebecca.
And we're building a house. And why are we building a house? Like, why don't we just buy a house? That's kind of what we're covering in this video.
Other houses are ugly.
Your house is not ugly. It's fine. We're not calling you out. Maybe we might be calling you out.
I just don't want to move into it.
There's just a lot of customization that you can get from a custom house, clearly. And we really like that because inevitably we have found a house that we really like, and then there's one thing on it, like a bay window we don't like.
Or the bay window goes all the way to the top. And it just
Yeah.
seems wasteful to see this great house that has a lot of space and then spend money and time replacing the things that we could just do right the first time.
Right, yeah, there were some houses that we looked at purchasing. Here come the kids. Yeah, there were some houses that we considered buying over the past about year. And we started looking at, well, we would change this and we would change this and we would change these things and this and this. And when we start looking at it, we're taking this house and we're changing a majority of it to where we're 150 grand in on top of the cost of the house. So we might as well just build something custom that fits our needs and what we want. One example of something custom that we like, and we're finally kind of seeing this trend now more. We've never been really big on a formal dining room, and we're here in Central Kentucky. Before that, we were in Jackson, Mississippi area, and down there it was still, for decades, still just everyone built a formal dining room. And so that's one thing we did in our last house is we excluded a formal dining room. We had a really large like breakfast eat-in area as well as kind of a bar section on the island. And we were able to put the rest of that room that would have been in a dining room in a couple of the bedrooms. So we had nice big bedrooms, or we added some of that to the living room. So that's just one example
of the way that you can customize your own house to your own liking instead of trying to do DIY or busting down walls or building new ones.
And it's okay to do that also. I mean, we seem to, even when we build a house, we seem to always improve it in some way. We want to put shiplap in it or paint it or do something. Another reason we're wanting to build is we don't want to be right next to someone. Sometimes neighbors suck. I'm not saying all of them do, but we've had our fair share of good ones and bad ones. And I'd rather there be a little bit of distance between us. Mm-hmm. You can still be a good neighbor and have some distance between you.
Good fences make good neighbors.
Yeah.
Oh, the yard. Like, we're big into plants and
landscaping
and flowers, and something that's a big deal with a house is your yard. And then if we plan the house and we build the house, we can plan the yard like the way we want it.
And we did that last time when we built. It was kind of frustrating because there was a lot of thought that went into just the landscaping. And at some points it felt kind of silly because it was like, you're doing all of this just for some plants and this and that, but we don't like kind of that builder grade cookie cutter, throw some boxwoods here and you're done. At the last one, we planned it out where we had something green or flowering or whatever all year. So even through the winter, we found plants and mixed them in, and we'll probably try to do the same here so that there's some evergreen stuff there and things that keep their greenery, just to kind of give your yard a little more, like lasting color or something. So in the winter, it's not just dead.
That, and there can be a variety. I like weedy plants. The weedier,
I don't. I like
the more wild, the better for me.
I like the manicured ones with the hedge that's straight.
So in the past, we've had kind of the balance of, he had the shrubs that he trimmed and were all nice, and then my glads or my
hydrangeas, we kind of let those go all over.
They just kind of went up. It's a little bit of Bruce and Rebecca mixed into the yard.
And we'll probably do some of that, and we happen to like that. Mm-hmm. We like plants that get multiple flowerings in a year, so you can kind of trim them after they bloom and they'll come back. So there's just a lot of that we still have to research because we're in a different hardiness zone up here. We're quite a bit north of where we were last time. So we actually have to kind of research different plants that can even live here.
Right.
Some of the ones that were down there I don't think do really well here, whereas something like tulips that didn't bloom well down there, they do great here because
I love it. They're my favorite.
It gets cold in the winter, and so the bulbs actually don't die.
Yeah, there's a cost factor of building. You can, with us, we like to do a lot of the work ourselves. Me mostly in the yard. I don't do
carpentry
the
stuff.
carpentry and all that. But you can recoup a lot of that cost.
Well, I mean, we saved probably thousands doing the landscaping ourselves. We planned it, so we didn't have to have a landscape architect or designer. And then we planted everything. We laid all of the sod. It's a ton of hard work.
Oh, it was.
But it's rewarding to then years and years later, you're still like, you handpicked everything. So you're like, oh yeah, I remember that, and I remember that. And I
That's
planted,
my first baby, and this is my second.
we planted a bunch of trees, and we're going to do the same at this property. On a broader scale, not even just changing the inside, just the overall design of the house, we seem to regularly not find one that we're just like, yep, I want that. Or I could put this little bit of money toward it, and it would be like what we want.
Right. Well, we just have certain designs and certain looks. Like, we love a big front porch.
Right.
And I want my house to be white.
Right.
So it's just not very common.
Right. Yeah, so often you may find you have to, go the custom route, which is why we're doing that.
Oh, yeah, it's perfectly fine. Yes, we could find a house that we love and that we could raise our family in, but we just have decided that we'd like to go customizing ourselves and picking out key details that we want and that we love.
Right. It seems, I think one of the things for us that picking those details, we're not guaranteed to be happy with them for 10 years. I keep saying that. When we were shopping for some ideas in another video, I was basically asking Rebecca, will you still like this in 10 years? Will you still like this tile design in 10 years? Because we do like some things to be kind of trendy and this and that, but also we lean more toward that. Are we going to keep liking it? We don't like changing things very often. We might accent something, but so I think us picking some of those key details is the point I'm trying to make. It kind of ensures that we're going to still like all of that in 10 years because we were the ones that made those choices. It wasn't just, we were like, those aren't really our sinks that we like or whatever, or that's not the flooring that we like, but the builder chose it, so we're just going to roll with it or whatever. It's kind of I've got input on everything.
That and our personalities are pretty set. Like, we like certain things, and even clothes. I have the same clothes that I've liked for 20 years. I mean, the fact that I like this tile now and I've liked it for 10 years, I'm probably always going to like it.
Yeah.
I'm kind of plain.
Got some classic styles going.
Yeah. But we were also talking about when you build your house and you pick out those details, it's like you're opening a present that's only yours. It was picked out just for you. It's not a hand-me-down. It's not something that someone said, oh, well, this is on sale. I picked it out. I thought you might like it. It's something that you picked. It was made just for you.
Yeah, but unlike other presents, it involves a lot more gray hair. Building is a stressful endeavor. We've built another house, and there are a lot of moving parts and pieces, even if you're not doing the general contracting yourself, just to ensure that everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing and that the details going in or how they're supposed to be. That can be stressful.
So let's do a compare. Like, this is now before we started.
Lord, what will I look like after?
We can't use him as a
all
barometer.
Of this gray. No.
Yeah, he's already gray. You'll have to use mine.
Anyway, we've got a bunch more videos coming, and we've already got some videos out there on the channel. If you like this video and some of this content, subscribe to the channel. Check out some of the other videos. We'd love your ideas on ideals.
Ideals too.
We'd love your ideas on other subjects you'd like us to cover kind of along this journey as we're planning and then building a house. Drop those in a comment below, and we'd appreciate it. Bye.
We're done. Wrap.
The kids are storming
inside.
the door.